What's up, guys? This is Hazy Trees. I hope you're doing well today. So I'm about to do something I've never done before, which we're about to play with some Korean natural farming techniques. Now, with the intro out of the way, what we're going to be making today is some fermented fruit juice. Now, I've been doing a little bit of research to figure out how to make this fermented fruit juice, and basically what it needs is basically sugar and fruits. So you need just sugar and fruits to make this stuff. And I got these mason jars over here that I've cleaned. And I actually have fermentation lids that have a air stop. So that way I can basically let any kind of gas that's formed from the fermentation process actually leave my jars. It's a little fancy here. You don't need anything like this. You literally just need to cover the lid of your jar with a towel or something that's breathable, so that way the oxygen and the carbon dioxide can exchange with each other. But specifically, I'm going to be using an airlock over here to help me with this process. So I'm being a little bit bougie with this, but that's okay. So what we have to do to make fermented fruit juice is super simple. We are literally going to take equal parts of weight of fruits and sugars in order to ferment these things in these jars. And then the lactobacillus that is present on the surface of these fruits will start decomposing all the sugar and start breaking down this fruit into basically a liquid that you call fermented fruit juice. This fermented fruit juice has high potassium and a bunch of microbial activity, as well as a bunch of micronutrients and amino acids, which are all incredibly beneficial to strengthen the vigor of your plant. And also, you can use this as your single nutrient solution for your entire flowering phase. You don't need to use any bottled nutrients whatsoever, using simple ingredients you can find at home. So let's get started. We're going to start cutting these fruits and start measuring how much of these fruits we have. And every time we add a little bit of fruits, we're going to add a little bit of sugar. And we're going to keep going back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to make an even amount for both these jars. So one jar is going to have one kiwi and a banana. The other one's going to have the other kiwi and the other banana. And then I'm going to break up this papaya. And it's a really big papaya. Literally, like, this is huge. Look at my hand. A huge papaya, massive papaya. This papaya is at least like 5 pounds. Oh, actually, more like 10 pounds, and I'm already ripping its skin because it's so ripe. So I'm gonna probably cut this stuff off, throw this stuff off in equal amounts into these jars. So just hang tight and come and see what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is cut this banana. There we go. So nice. We got this all chopped up. We're gonna weigh it now, and then we're gonna throw it into our first jar. There we go. We turn on the scale. And then I'm going to put this over here. Now, the maximum capacity I can do is 1 kilogram. So we're not going to go more than 1 kilogram in terms of our weight here. So I'm going to tear that. Cool. And now we're going to start adding this banana little by little into the scale. Cool. So already at 37 grams. We're at 115. How many grams is that? So it's about 154 grams for one banana. Cool. We're going to throw that into the first jar. Next off, we're going to be taking this kiwi, cutting this up and putting it in the jar too. So now we're going to take this and we're going to weigh this, test out our scale, let that zero out, and now we're going to take some kiwi and measure this as well. There we go. Take all that kiwi, throw it all into here. Make sure your kiwi and your banana chunks are nice and small. And there we go. So we got about 154 plus 88. Cool. 154 plus 88, awesome. So I got about 238 grams of fruits into there. I got to make sure that everything looks nicely chopped up. I might actually chop this up a little bit more. So give me one more sec. Let's break that down a little bit more. Got some of the stuff and chopped it a little bit more. Now what we're going to do is we're going to measure some sugar. So now we can use either brown sugar, like cane sugar, or we can use molasses. It doesn't matter. You just need to have some sort of nice carbohydrate like sugar in order to mix with these fruits. So we have 238 grams worth of fruits. So we're going to do 238 grams worth of sugar. Now what I have over here is I have my scale ready to go. I'm actually going to do a little bit of molasses, and then I'm going to do a little bit of cane sugar. So I'm going to put about 238 grams of molasses, but in order to do this, I had to put all the fruits inside my mason jar into the solo cup, so that way I could actually put the molasses directly into this jar. If I put it into that solo cup, I'm afraid it's going to get stuck to the edges. So now we're all zeroed out. Now I got my molasses right here. We're going to pour out 238 grams. Ready, set. Let's see that go. Let's get a little bit more in there. There we go, 238.5, 239 grams, 238.5. Awesome. So we got all of our molasses into our jar. Beautiful. Now we're gonna put the fruits right back into here. So we just cut the papaya in half. I'm gonna take out all these seeds, which I could technically keep, but I'm gonna just take out all the seeds. And then we're gonna throw it right into there. So give me just a couple seconds. Okay, we got all the seeds out of here, as you can see. So now I'm gonna chop this up and figure out how much I got and weight. And then we're gonna put equal amounts of cane sugar in there now for the papaya. So far we have about 315 grams of papaya. I'm only like a quarter of the way with this papaya. So we're gonna throw in this 315 grams right here and then throw 315 grams of brown sugar into that jar. So right now, as you can see, I have about 317 grams of sugar. So we're gonna throw that in for the 315 grams of papaya that we put in. We're gonna put in a little bit more papaya too, don't worry. So here they are sitting inside of my pantry, chilling right now. And as you can see from this one, this plant juice is already starting to liquefy very nicely. If you look carefully, you can see bubbles floating. Let's see if you can see this from the side over here. See this? There it is. You see the bubbles? Do you see those bubbles very slowly going up but rising? So it is fermenting. You can even see the fermentation on the fruits down there. So this is doing her job, and as you can see these bubbles just coming up to the surface right there. So it's working. The lactobacillus is doing their thing. It's fermenting. Check back in a couple more days. Here we are now with our jars fully fermented. As you can see, it was fermenting nicely, but now this is all ready to go. Look here. See that? We're gonna drain this off. And so we're gonna strain this right here. We're gonna take a funnel and then put that right into the mason jar. So hang tight while we pour this through. So, pouring it all out. Letting all this spill up. Yep. And there we go. Some fermented plant juice. And then this can be used as compost. So here we go. Just letting it all go through the strainer. Into the funnel and into here. And this is our finished product. Some fermented fruit juice. All ready to go. Looking beautiful. 17 gallons of reverse osmosis water. And here's some fermented fruit juice I made with papaya, bananas, and kiwis. And then this one is some fishbone meal fermented in apple cider vinegar with Epsom salts. So it's gonna be a really nice CalMag that my buddy Walrus Grows made for me. So shout out to my homie Walrus Grows. So we're gonna be feeding this fermented fruit juice and homemade CalMag all to this, and it's gonna be all we need. It's gonna be amazing. My plants are going to go nuts over this stuff. So without further ado, here we go. So I'm gonna be using this tablespoon to measure this out for us. And it needs just 2 teaspoons per gallon. So I have about 15 gallons here, right? So a tablespoon is 3 teaspoons per scoop. So let's just kind of eyeball this out. Ready? So we're gonna go. That should be good. So 12 tablespoons. And there we go. That's literally all we need to feed. And here we go. Ready? Wow. It's a beautiful color. It's a beautiful color. Okay, now the CalMag. And so for our CalMag that we just got, we're going to be doing about 150 milliliters of this. Go. All this is fermented fruit juice and CalMag from Walrus Grows. Literally all we need to make some goodness. So at this point, it's ready to go.